I was in heaven and the Lord showed me 2 levels of heaven. I saw an angel leaving the first level and climbing a golden stair that led to the second level of heaven. When he saw me coming, he said, "Joel, welcome back home." I asked the angel, "We are already in heaven, but why are you climbing the stair?" He told me God has ordered every angels to return to his post. He has given us 7 golden trumpet because we are 7 angels. I said, "Why?" He said, "In order to prepare the event that all the Christians are waiting." I already knew that he was talking about the rapture, but I wanted him to say it. He said, "We are preparing the rapture." Indeed, we are all preparing for the rapture. I was sleeping when I heard the Lord calling me. I don't really sleep deeply, but on that day I slept deeply, so when the Lord called I still continued to sleep. Finally I heard the Lord calling my name 3 times. "Joel, wake up, the rapture is happening." When I woke up from my sleep, I saw an angel with the brightest garment sitting at the end of my bed. He had brown skin like me. The Lord Jesus was sitting on my bed around my feet. When I woke up, the Lord held my left hand with his right hand and took me out of the house in the street. His right hand was so powerful that I felt like my bones were shattered. Beloved, it was night and people were sleeping. My street is always animated, but somehow it was calm on that day. People kept sleeping and did not know that the rapture was happening. My street was popular with many people, but only 3 that were taken and the rest were left behind. I saw a person rising and leaving the ground, and when he had reached the altitude of 1 meter he was changed completely, for he was dressed with a body of glory that shone with light of heaven. When this saint was rising, his body became light. The second person in my street was rising and his body became glorified, radiating brilliance. The third person stood right before me. When his feet began to leave the ground, I saw him changing and he started to shine like a star in the firmament. When it was my turn to rise, I remember that it was in 2021 on the day of my birthday, and I had weave on my head. Suddenly I began to confess and ask for forgiveness. The Lord said, "Remove it, remove the weave from your head." When I removed the weave, he told me, "When the rapture come, I will come to take you personally." The Lord and his angel held my hand and we began to rise in the sky, and the vision ended. I was at home and the children were at school, when I saw a light in the sky, not the kind of light you see on earth, but a light 1,000 times stronger than the sun, coming down from heaven. This light sucked me up to the air and I found myself rising in the sky. It happened in a speed I cannot explain. The light sucked me up in the sky in a blink of an eye. I heard the uproar and noises of the saints from all over the world that were taken to the cloud. They were full of joy. We were in the cloud, and I had forgotten my life on earth. I did not even remember my children, my family and the earth, as if the earth never existed. It was such moment that the memory of life on earth was removed from our mind. Finally I saw the Lord Jesus Christ coming down from the eternal kingdom to meet those who had made it to the rapture. He was wearing a robe that shone with a light more intense than the sun. He wore a golden belt on his hip. His face shone more with power. Behind him were innumerable army of heaven riding horses of heaven. I said, "Oh, it's Jesus Christ." I noticed that my hand already became luminescent, for my body had changed and I had a body of glory, as if light was inside my skin, and I was dressed in the most pure white garment. And I saw that I was clothed with youth and had become immortal and imperishable. The human body that is sown is perishable and mortal. It is raised imperishable and immortal. We could not wait to greet the King. 1 Corinthians 15 verse 42. So, the King was heading towards us in order to take us to the Lamb banquet, and when he got closer I heard him saying, "Finally, this was the most anticipated event in the celestial world, and it had happened." No words can describe the magnitude of these event. Beloved, come out of sleep and wake up, put your house in order. We are living in the end of time and the rapture will happen. The Lord previously said he can't wait. He wants the rapture to happen. He said the trumpet will sound at a moment nobody expect. It will be a great surprise. The few human that will be rapture, I will give them a white robe. Beloved, the worst that can happen to you is to miss the rapture. When the trumpet sound, either you are taken or you are left behind. We are pilgrim on a journey and we are going back home in the glory. The return of the great King is near. As the Lord was coming to meet us, I looked down to see what was happening on earth. I saw a chaos that you cannot imagine. I pity you, beloved. If you are going after material goods of this world, on that day of the rapture, you will forget your beautiful car. I saw everybody abandoning their precious car and houses. The whole earth was in chaos as people ran all over the place. The good for which they fought to have in their life became useless. Even money for which all the effort was put to acquire became useless in this chaos. That's when I saw the Antichrist laughing. He was an animal initially, then he turned to a human. He was very happy, for he has been waiting for this moment. With smile on his face, he said, finally the rapture has happened and my time has come. I will torment and torture these human. What struck me the most was that people forgotten their palaces and luxurious cars when they were running, and they left all behind. If you are attached to these things, brethren, you better forget them now. If you miss the rapture, it will be a tragedy. Please examine your life. I saw two demons that were walking in the boulevard where people had abandoned their cars. These demons said to one another, we must go to this Christian channel called Casa Rema, that means house of word. We will force them to change the name to House of Rottenness. Then these demons took human shape, and I saw that they were holding Bibles on their hand. When I woke up I was surprised, for the dream seemed so real.